Apple tried to do that with their first Apple Watch by launching that very expensive gold one, like super expensive, kind of hitting that market with like Rolex market, stuff like that. It didn't go so well, and you can tell because the next year they didn't have a high dollar one. So
if you're a watch company though, you're Citizen or
yeah,
Rolex or whatever. I mean, Rolex is always going to have their market, obviously.
yes.
But you got to think we need to be in the smartwatch industry because that is where things are going. Everything's going smart. Whether it's your watch, your doorbell, your lights, you know what I mean? Everything's going smart now. Everyone wants simplicity. Everything wants something that's going to be cool. It's going to be easy to control. The crazy thing for me is like I have a smartwatch that I almost never wear because I don't need a watch anymore. The watch is essentially there for time. And I've got that in my pocket at all times. So if you're just a straight up watch company, yeah, you've got to be getting into the smartwatch game. You got to have your watch do something other than tell time.
I don't see a lot of people wearing smartwatches, do y'all? I know y'all,
2 out of the 5 people here have a smartwatch on at the moment.
So 2 out of 5, so that's not a lot.
Well, I own one as well.
And I have one. I've never worn it. But I didn't wear watches prior. Like I've never been like a watch guy. I've never been.
That's true too. I mean, I used to wear watches. I still wear watches, and then the smartwatch came, so I started wearing that. So.
And see, that's funny because I was never a watch person. Like I thought about it. I've always liked people having gold watches, and I remember I bought one G-Shock watch, and it was like $100, and I wore it for like a week, and then after a week I was like, I don't want to wear this anymore. It wasn't until I got an Apple Watch where I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. I can see my notifications, and to me it's more. I don't have to keep pulling out my phone out of my pocket when I get a text message or when I get a notification because it pops up on my wrist. And then at this point, people are so used to you looking at your wrist to see time. So it's not like you're being rude. You're just like, oh, okay, cool. It's 6 o'clock. Blah blah blah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm Fossil. Like, how do you compete with Apple trying to jump into the smartwatch industry? Like, do you just hold on? I would assume, like, you just hold on to the position in the industry you have. I don't know even if they created a smartwatch, because we had a Fossil smartwatch at one point, and, like, I only saw, like, one time.
Oh, well, yeah, as far as, Fossil does have a smartwatch right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if do you go and put so much money into that to basically fail?
It's not obviously going to work as well as the actual company that makes the phones watch. So
yeah, I kind of bought that watch,
yeah,
and I thought it was cool.
Seen you wore it.
At first I thought it was really cool because like Cody said, it did more than just tell time.
Yeah, but see, and then you find other things that are better at that. So that's what I'm trying to say is like, if you are Fossil and you are these watch companies, are you even attempting to get into that market? Because that market's pretty much overrun. Like you have Samsung. Google's apparently supposedly been coming up with one that's rumored forever. Apple, that's a super hard industry. I would think that I don't even know. I don't know. And then if you're really, I don't even know if you put them on the same network as those guys. Yeah, I would assume you're putting them on the same networks like Fitbits. Because they're doing basically that kind of stuff. And even that's a hard industry to kind of get into. I don't know.
I think the biggest thing about that is you do see people running around with their Fitbits, and there are probably, I don't know how many people are probably going to have a Michael Kors smartwatch and so on and so forth. Yes, we're going to see that happen would be my guess. You have to jump into it because otherwise I do think you become a Fossil.
I actually got it.
Sorry, I thought that was funnier than everyone else. But no, I think the main thing is you've got to go connected. You've got to be on the cell network. You've got to be able to use it away from your phone. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to do it. And the side of that, the reverse side of that is the sales reps aren't going to want to sell it. That's kind of, the industry that we're in. We all know that.
So do you think a company like Rolex, do you think they'll get into smartwatches?
No.
They're high end. They're, like Cody said, they already have their market, and that market's still going to buy Rolex watches.
Yeah, see, like that's what I'm saying. Like you're building it. This I would assume, like if you're just a watchmaker, like you're making it for the people that are specifically going to buy a watch for like a fashion thing. Like I don't even know how many like celebrities. To me, like this is my comparison. How many would celebrities go on the red carpet with a smartwatch?
Exactly.
That would be my comparison. Now, if there's like a statistics that say a lot of celebrities do go and they have smartwatches, okay, different. But I don't think. It's it's a difference between wearing like Oakley sport sunglasses and going out and wearing Ray-Bans. It's a completely different market. And smartwatch is more like the Oakley's sport band when you're just kind of home doing your own thing. rather than, you know, your Rolex is your out and about fashion statement.
They're not pushing it as far as because they feel. Do watch companies feel intimidated because there are Samsung watches and Apple watches that they're like, okay, no, these people have their niche. We're good. We're still gonna sell watches regardless because not everybody uses it.
Yeah. So my thought is, am I more likely to walk in and buy a Fossil watch that is not smart, or a Fossil watch that is smart? And I'm gonna go with the smart watch every single time. If that's what I'm after, if I'm after a watch and I want it to be Fossil, I'm gonna go with the smart watch every single time just because I want that added feature. I don't need a watch. I really don't.
I don't think you're buying a watch, as crazy as it sounds, because you need a watch. Like, that's why it's like it's a fashion statement in my opinion. That's what I see watches in today's world. Like, I don't know people who like watches. We don't have anyone here that likes watches, but, you know, someone who like watches that they're like, oh yeah, buy it because I always want to know the time. Or if someone who's really in the watches says, I like watches because of the way they look. Like, I like them, you know, the different bands and the different way they look.
Well, they even have a subscription-based thing now for watches.
They do.
Like, if you sit there, I think it's like $100 a month, and they'll send you a watch every month, regardless, you know, what month it is. They just have, you know, certain companies, and that's how the company get their name out there, because they're like, okay, we're going to give you this watch to give to your customers. But again, it's only for that. I guess I would say not for that consumer part of it, because you have subscription based on, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. You have subscription based on sports. Everything has its own little.
Kind of like right now, since you know people who need watches to tell time. How many people need a cap right now to block the sun? But there's 3 people in this room right now with the cap on. That's a difference. Like, you know, you're doing it for, you know, because it's a fashion thing. Now you're not doing it for its actual purpose of blocking the sun. That's the way I see a watch personally. But, like, I'm not a huge watch wearer, period. So I would assume if you're buying a watch, you're buying it not because you want to know the time, but because it's a fashion thing for you.
I have a Fitbit, but only, as you see, I'm not wearing it right now. I only wear it whenever.
I can also see you're not that fit.
Well, that's it for today. No, just kidding. No, but I wear my Fitbit just basically for steps and see how many steps I'm taking, like, throughout the day whenever I'm, like, working or going out to the gym. But besides on the weekends, I really don't wear it if I'm not doing anything. So.
Does your Fitbit tell time?
It does tell time.
Nice.
I like it.
So you're using that for its secondary function, just like what Patrick just said. So the hat, its main function is to block the sun. My hair's a little bit crazy right now, so I've got it to block my hair right now. It's working as its secondary function, which
right.
may not be the purpose I bought it for, although it probably is. You know, I'm using it for another reason than what it may be intended to be used for. I just think, again, if Fossil is, yes, it's a well-known company, and I know we keep using that one. There's hundreds of different watch brands out there.
Today's episode sponsored by
There's hundreds of other companies we could be talking about, but the main thing is you're not a real high-end watch. You know what I mean? You might be a decent-looking watch, but it's not known to be a high-end watch. You know, I'm not buying a Fossil because it's going to be a fashion statement. I'm going to go out and people are going to be, dang, look at that dude's Fossil.
So as always,
Stay fresh.
Stay hungry.
Stay driven.
and stay humble.